channel Science Learning Gateway. So in today's video we are going to discuss class 10th for Karnataka board students. In geography we are going to discuss chapter number 13, that is India Forest. I have already uploaded 3 chapters from geography for Karnataka board students. You can check those chapters in my channel. So let's start with the chapter India Forest today. We are going to complete this chapter in one shot. So watch the full video, and if you have any doubt after watching the video, do comment in the comment box. I will definitely try to clear your doubts. So before starting, guys, I have a humble request from you all. If you like the explanation, if you like the notes, do like the video, and if you have yet not subscribed the channel, then please subscribe to it. Okay, so let's start with the chapter India Forest. As the name of the chapter is forest, so we are going to discuss about the types of forest which is present in our country, India. Right? So what do we mean by the forest? Forest means the trees, the plants which we see around us. Right? So there are different varieties of forests and trees which we can see in the different regions of our country, in the different parts of the country. So about that only we are going to discuss in this chapter. So let's start with the introduction first. The first point which is written over there is that the total plant life growing naturally in an area is called forest or natural vegetation. What do you understand by natural forest or natural vegetation? Natural forest or natural vegetation means the plants which are growing naturally, which is given to us by the nature. We are not growing them, but they are gifted to us by the nature. The total plant life which is growing naturally in a particular area is called forest or natural vegetation. The second point, it is influenced by various ecological factors like temperature, rain, landform, soil, etc. Yes, it is true. The plant and the trees are affected by the different environmental conditions. It can be affected by the temperature, like in the hot deserts, some different types of trees are present. In cold areas, some different types of trees are present. The forests are affected by the rain. We know that rain is very important for the plants and the trees, because without water, the plant cannot survive. Then it is also based on the landforms, like some of the areas are plain, some of the areas are mountainous. So on the basis of that also the trees can be of different types. Next, soil also plays a very important role for the growth of the plants and the trees. You know that black soil is very good for growing cotton, that we have already discussed in the chapter India soils, right? So different types of soil, like alluvial soil is good for growing different plant, red soil is good for growing different plants. So on the basis of the different types of soil, different plants and trees are also present. According to a survey of 2009, India has approximately 6.9 lakh square kilometer of forest. Okay, in one survey was done in the year 2009, and that time India is having how much square kilometer of area of forest? 6.9 lakh kilometers area kilometer lakh kilometer square area of forest. Okay, so that comprises of 21.2% of the geographical area. Means out of total area of India, 21.2% only forests are present. Only forest. Next, India is a vast country having various types of natural environment, and based on the natural vegetation they can be divided into 6 main types. So we know that our country is so big, right? So, and it has different environmental condition, different temperatures, different soils. So on the basis of that, our natural vegetation or the forest are divided into 6 main types. So do remember that the forest in India are divided into 6 main types. Let's have a look on the 6 types of the forest. The first one is called the evergreen forest. Since the name evergreen means they are green throughout the year, so it's evergreen forest. Next we have deciduous monsoon forest. The second type of forest is called deciduous monsoon forest. Third is called tropical grasslands. Tropical grasslands. And the fourth one is called mangrove forest. Mangrove forest. The fifth one is called desert vegetation, and the last one is known as alpine forest of Himalayas. So these are the 6 type of forest. Let's go through it once again, because this is very important. Maybe you can get for short questions or something, like write the 6 types of forest which is present in India. So if you know their name, you can quickly write them. The first one is evergreen forest, second is deciduous monsoon forest, the third is tropical grasslands, The fourth one is mangrove forest. The fifth is desert vegetation. And the last one is alpine forests of Himalayas. Okay, now let's go to the next chapter. Sorry, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so over here we are going to discuss the different types of forests in details, their characteristics, their features, everything. The first one which we are going to discuss is the evergreen forest. So see, in the first point, what is written over there? In India, evergreen forests are found in regions which are not more than 90 meters above sea level. So where we can find evergreen forests in India? Which are not more than 900 meters above sea level and receives the annual rainfall of more than 250 centimeters, and in these area the rainfall will be more than 250 centimeters. So remember that evergreen forests are found in India in those areas which is not more than 900 meters above sea level and they receive an annual rainfall of more than 250 centimeters. This type of forest are found in, now let's have a look in the areas where we can get these forests in India. These types of forests are found in Western Ghats, northeastern states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Manipura, Nagaland, Andaman Nicobar, Iceland. So mostly we can get these trees in the northeast area, like in Western Ghats, northeastern states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura. These all states are there in the eastern part of India. So at least two three names you can remember, like you can remember Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Manipur, Nagaland. Evergreen forests occupy about 2.6 lakh hectares of land. So, out of total area covered by the forest in India, evergreens forest acquire 2.6 lakh hectares. Since the trees are always since the trees are always green, these forests are called evergreen forests. So one question can come from here. Why the evergreen forests are called evergreen? So what will be the answer? The evergreen forests are called always evergreen because they are always green throughout the year. Okay? The evergreen forest is called evergreen because the trees are always green throughout the year. So this is the answer for that. Now let's discuss about the second type of forest, that is called a deciduous monsoon forest. This type of forests are more widely distributed in India. Means in India we can get these forests in many parts of our country. They are seen in areas receiving 75 to 250 centimeters of rainfall. So where you can see the deciduous monsoon forest, where the rainfall is between 75 to 200 centimeters. In evergreen forest, we have learned that it can be seen in those areas where the rainfall is more than 250. But deciduous monsoon forest will be seen on those areas where the rainfall is between 75 to 250. It forms about 65.5% of total areas of forest. So out of the total areas of forest, how much percent is deciduous monsoon forest? It is 65.5%. Since India has mainly monsoon climate, this type of forest is distributed widely. We know that in our country, which climate is preferably, generally we can see, it is monsoon type of climate. So this type of tree is mostly seen in many areas. The trees shed their leaves during the dry winter, so these trees are also called deciduous monsoon forests. So one question we have from here, that why these forests are called deciduous monsoon forests. So deciduous monsoon forests get its name because during winter season the trees will shed their leaves. The leaves will fall. They will dry and they will fall from the trees. So that's why they are called deciduous monsoon forests. Just remember that point. Now let's come to the third type of forest, that is tropical grasslands. This type of vegetation are found in the areas receiving 60 to 75 centimeters of rainfall. So where we can tropical grassland forest, where the areas will receive the rainfall between 60 to 75 centimeter. The areas have tall trees and small herbs are rarely seen here and there. So, what we can see in tropical grassland areas, the trees are very tall and small herbs are rarely seen in some part of the areas. Central parts of Peninsular Plateau, border areas of Thar Desert to the west of Aravalli Hills have this type of forest. So where you can see these types of forests in India? In the central parts of Peninsular Plateau, you can see border areas of Thar Deserts to the west of Aravalli Hills have these types of vegetation. Baboon, Sisham and Sahabai type of grass are seen in these areas. So which type of grass we can see over there, since the name is tropical grassland? So which types of grasses we can see over there? Babool, Shisham and Sahabai type of grass. These are the trees. Babool and Shisham, these are the trees, and Sahabai is a type of grass which can be seen in this area. Now let's discuss the fourth type of forest, that is called the mangrove forest. So these mangrove forests are formed due to tides, right? So these mangrove forests are formed due to tides. This is the first point. In second point, what we are going to read, the mangrove forests are found along the deltas and coastal regions and estuaries of rivers that are subjected to tides. So where we can get the mangrove forest? Along the deltas and the coastal regions and estuaries of the rivers, which where we can see the tides, because they are formed because of tides, so obviously they are seen in these areas. River delta of Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna have this kind of forest. So in which area, in which river deltas we can see these types of this type of forest? River deltas of Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, and Krishna. All the main rivers have these types of forests. The Sundari trees are plenty in the Ganga basin, and hence these forests are called Sundarbans. So, in the Ganga basin, which trees are found in very large number? Sundari trees. That's why these forests are also called Sundarbans over there. The total area of these forests is about 4.4 thousand kilometers. Now we have the fifth type of forest, that is called the desert forest. So, as the name is desert forest, so obviously we can get these types of forests in the desert areas. So this type of forest is found in the areas receiving less than 50 centimeters of rainfall. Okay, in these types of forests the rainfall is very less. That is less than 50 centimeters. The Thar Desert in Rajasthan and its adjoining areas in Punjab, Haryana, and Gujarat have these types of forests. So just remember the desert forest we can see in the Thar Desert of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, and in Gujarat areas. The plants are deep rooted and contain mainly of thorny shrubs. So do you know that in desert forest the plants which will be present in the desert areas, they have roots very deep into the ground. So why the roots are very deep into the ground? So that they can absorb the water from the ground. And they have thorny shrubs also, so that they can store the food inside them. We have the sixth type of forest, that is called the alpine forest of the Himalayas. This is the last type of forest. The different types of forest are found in the Himalayas. We know that we can see different types of trees and forests in the Himalaya areas. As the height increases, the tropical type of climate change into polar type of climate. Means as you go top and top in the Himalaya areas, the tropical type of climate present at the bottom will change into which type of climate? Polar type of climate. At the means as you reach the height, that climate over there is very cold. That is polar type of climate. According to the changes in climate, various types of plants are found. Means as the climate will change, different types of plants we can see in different types of climate. The important types of trees growing in these types of forests are, now let's have a look on the types of trees which we can see in the alpine forest of Himalayas. Sal, Baira, Sal, Baira, Toon, Silver Spruce and Laurel, etc. So these types of trees you can see in the alpine forest of Himalayas. Sal, Baira, Toon, Silver Spruce, Laurel. So just remember the name of at least few trees. These trees have pointed leaves. So what is the important characteristics of these types of trees? The trees have pointed leaves. So with this we have finished the types of the forest. Next topic is distribution of forests. So now let's have a look on that distribution of forests. Scientists' opinion that for any area to possess a good environment, it should have 33% of land area under forest. Yes, we all also know, means if you read the books, if we follow the news channels, if we follow the environmental news, we know that to maintain a clean and good environment, trees should be present in that area, right? So according to the scientists, what they are saying, that to make an environment good, at least in that area, 33% of the land should be covered with the forest, because trees give us good and pure air, they bring rain, and they clean the environment. So trees and forests are very important for us. When a forest area is compared to the total area of the country are very less. Yes, if we compare our total forest area to the total area of the land which is present in our country, it is very less that time. India has very lesser area of forest. In India, we can see a very less amount of forest, or means very less trees are there in our country. Madhya Pradesh has largest area of forest. If we come to the states, then Madhya Pradesh, that is MP. In Madhya Pradesh, we can see a large area of forest. Haryana is the last position, and Karnataka is in the 13th position in terms of areas of forest. And in Haryana, we have very less area of forest. Haryana is in the last position. It's written over there, no? So Haryana is the last state, is the state in which very less forest is present, and Karnataka will come in the 13th position in terms of area of forest. So which is the largest state having forest? Madhya Pradesh. Now let's talk about conservation of forest. How we can conserve the forest, how we can protect the forest, because they play a very important role for us and for our environment. So we have to conserve the forest. So protection of forest from human beings, animals, and natural disasters are called conservation of forest. So what is conservation of forest? To protect the forest from humans, animals, and natural disasters like floods, volcanic eruption, etc., is called conservation of forest. Okay, so this is conservation of forest. Protection of forest from human beings, animals, natural disaster is called protection, conservation of forest. Indian Indian forests are gradually decreasing because of expansion of agriculture, animal grazing, construction of roads and railroads, irrigation projects, forest fires, mining forest fires, etc. are the main cause for destruction of forests. So why the forest in India is getting decreased day by day? It is decreasing because of agriculture, it is decreasing because of animal grazing. Agriculture means most of the people are involved in agriculture in our country, right? So they are cutting down the trees to make the agriculture field, and they are growing the crops over there. Animal grazing, people will leave their cattle or the cows in the grassland areas, on the in the field areas where grasses are present, and animals will graze that grass. So that is also one of the cause for destruction of forests. Construction of roads and rail routes. This is also one of the cause for destruction of forests. As the as the factories are increasing, transportation it is increasing. So construction of roads, rail routes is needed. So in for that cause also the roads, for that cause also the forests are cleared these days. Irrigation projects. So to meet the irrigation project for building dams, etc., the forests are destructed. They are cutting, the trees are cut these days to make the dams, etc. Forest fires. This is one of the natural disaster which is destructing our forest. Mining forest. This is also one of the cause for destruction of the forest. So maybe the question can come from here also. What is conservation of forest? You write the definition, and maybe it can come that what are the causes because of which the forest is decreasing day by day. So you can write agriculture, animal grazing, construction of roads and rail routes, irrigation projects, forest fires, mining fires, etc. Now let's move to the next topic, that is That is methods of conservation, means how we can conserve the forest, how we can protect the forest, that we will go through now. So first method of conserving forest or protecting forest is cutting down dried up and embarrassing trees which caused forest fires. Means once the trees are dried or which are not used at all, then we should cut down those trees, and if we cut down those trees we will get a space for growing another tree. So this is the first method by which we can conserve the forest. So you have to cut down the dried up trees so that it cannot cause forest fires. The second thing is protecting the forest trees against diseases. If any disease is spreading in any tree or in a particular tree, so we have to protect the other trees from getting those diseases to be spread up. Planting saplings, so the small plants, no, the baby plants, those are known as the saplings. So if we plant the saplings, it will grow into a new tree. So by this we can protect our trees. Next is sowing seeds. So you know that sowing seed is the good method of growing any plant. So if we sow the seeds in the ground or in the soil, from there the new saplings or the baby plant will come out, and it will finally turn into a tree. Guarding against illegal cutting of trees. Sometimes you know that people will cut down the trees for their benefit, so we have to protect the trees, that it should not be cut down for their illegal purpose. So we have to look into that. Avoiding grazing of domestic animals in the forest. Sometimes many of the people, they will left their cattle or cows or goats in the field or in the forest and for grazing the grass. So this should not be done, so we have to avoid that. Motivating people to plant saplings. Even we have to motivate our friends, our family members, relatives to plant more and more trees, more and more plant saplings. Creating awareness among people about trees and encouraging them to protect them. We have to aware the people that how forests and trees are helpful to us, how they help to clean the environment, to protect the environment, and encourage them to plant more trees. And also we have to encourage them that we should protect the trees. Implementing the social forestry project speedily and successfully. After that, if government is planning to plant any trees or forests, then in that projects also we have to help them so that it will become speedy and successful. So these are the methods by which we can protect the or conserve the forest. Next is our wildlife sanctuaries. So what is wildlife sanctuary? Wildlife sanctuaries are set up by the government to protect the animals and their natural habitat. Okay, why wildlife sanctuaries are made? They are made to protect the animals in their natural habitat. The animals will get a natural environment over there, so that they can feel like they are in some forest or some in their natural place from where means from in where they have grown up. So that this wildlife sanctuary provide a natural habitat, natural place to the animals, and also protect the animals. There are about 23 wildlife sanctuaries in India today. How many wildlife sanctuaries we have in India? We have 523. The important ones among them are, the first one is in Tamil Nadu. So the name of that wildlife sanctuary is Annamalai Wildlife Sanctuary, Coimbatore, Nilgiri. Then the next which we have is in West Bengal state, and it is Madari Hat in Jaldapara. Next we have in Rajasthan Bharatpur Kivola Devi Bird Sanctuary. Next in Haryana we have Sultanpur Gurgaon. In Punjab we have Birmoti Bagh Patiala, and in Andhra Pradesh we have Guntur Nagarjuna Sagar. So these are the important wildlife sanctuaries which are present in India. Next, let's talk about the national parks which are present in India. So Jim Corbett National Park in Uttaranchal is the first national park to be established in India. So this is very important, guys. Maybe you can get in 1 marks question or in multiple choice question that which is the first national park which was built in India or established in India. So it is Jim Corbett National Park, and where it is present, Corbett National Park is present in Uttaranchal. Now let's talk about the main national parks in India. The first one is Kaziranga National Park, and it is present in Sibsagar, Assam. Kaziranga National Park is in Assam. Sundarbans, 24 Pargans district. Next we have Hazaribagh National Park, and it is present in Bihar. Gir National Park, it is present in Gujarat, Junagadh. Then Kanha National Park, it is present in Mandya and Balaghat, Madhya Pradesh. We have Tandova National Park, and it is present in Chandrapur, Maharashtra. So these are the important national parks which is present in India. Next we have the biosphere reserves. So India has a large diversity of flora and fauna. So what do you understand by flora? Flora means the plants, the trees, and fauna means the animals. So India has a very large diversity of flora and fauna present in different parts of the area. So in order to preserve this biodiversity, 18 biosphere reserves have been identified. How many biosphere reserves? 18 biosphere reserves are present in our country, India. And where are they? They are in Nilgiri, Nanda Devi, Nokrek, Great Nicobar, Gulf of Mannar, Manas, Sundarbans, Simlipal, Kanchenjunga, Amarkantaka, Cold Deserts, Himachal Pradesh, Panna, Sheshalam Nalgiri was the first biosphere reserves in India. So which was the first uh, biosphere reserves in India? It is Sheshalam Nilgiri was the first biosphere reserves in India. So at least 2 3 biosphere reserves you can remember. So with this we have finished the chapter. If you have any doubts, do comment in the comment box. I will definitely try to clear your doubt. And if you have any question, or if you want the solution of this chapter, question answer explanation, anything, then also you have to comment in the comment box. I will make a separate video for that. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this explanation and the notes, do like the channel, share with your friends, and if you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe to it.